Hey, I'm Stuart. Just a quick video about something I was thinking about the other day. I actually watched a video by a guy. You can search for him on YouTube if you search for Tyler RSD. I think all one word. But anyway, his organization is Real Social Dynamics, and it's a pickup artist kind of coaching, teaching company, and I'll get into that later here maybe. But one thing this guy was saying was that he was talking about how at one time, human beings all lived in tribes of X number of people. I don't know if he said it was 50 or just some random number. And now in our modern societies, we live in a society of millions of people, possibly, billions, if depending on how you see things. And what that does is that causes us to compare ourselves to ridiculously exceptional people. And of course, when we do that, we don't measure up. And I think what he was saying, or at least the way I took it, is that when we do that, it's very discouraging. And that's not really something that motivates us and pumps us up that we're winning and we're successful and we're getting ahead. And so that was kind of simmering in the back of, just kind of there in the back of my head. And I was studying millionaires because I like to, and when I study things, I always have a preference for information that comes from scientific research, as opposed to some self-development speaker with their opinion, which, by the way, is what I offer. So if that's not good enough, just trust, hopefully, that I'm rational and whatever. Take what I say, take or leave what I say. But this guy was, okay. Yeah, so studying people that are rich based on research and surveys and information collected in a way that's reproducible. And I was looking at some information on millionaires, and I didn't do a lot of research to find a bunch of evidence that supported this, but it looked like it was being presented professionally, by someone that had done adequate research. So hopefully that's the case. But it was kind of surprising, because I'm 33, I think, and it's for a lot of my life, my 20s, I was getting really disappointed towards my mid to late 20s, why aren't I a millionaire yet? Because I have these exceptional examples of people that became millionaires in their 20s, people that I look up to and admire, that I don't really know. Some of them I don't know at all. Some of them I just know from the media. And that's what I compare myself with. And of course I'm going to feel terrible comparing myself to those people. And I was looking at this research, and it said that the age of the average millionaire is 61. And it showed a breakdown by age in a bar graph. And if I recall, it wasn't until about 45 that really you started to see a significant amount of millionaires. And before that, very, very small amounts of millionaires. And the reason I'm kind of saying this is because that's really encouraging. If someone can make, start their own business and make a living off of their own business, that's beating the average. The average, what was that form of business? A person that isn't incorporated but works for themselves. I forget what it's called. But anyway, self-employed. Just a person that's self-employed but not incorporated. The average person like that makes $6,000 a year in their business. And I don't need to go into how many of these businesses fail, but if someone can start a business and make more than $6,000 and can keep their business going for more than a year, and they're in their 20s or early 30s, that's impressive. That's a person that's ahead of the pack. You know, if someone can accumulate, you know, $50,000, you know, in their 20s or 30s, that's pretty significant. And for a guy like me, especially because most of these millionaires have like 4-year degrees and beyond and beyond that, you know. And if a guy like me with a 2-year degree can survive without a job for however long it's been, I don't know, like it's probably like 5 years so far. That's pretty impressive, you know. Um, you know, I have to make my money by just using my wits and cunning. I don't have a degree to go plug into someone else's business system and make lots of money. So I guess what I'd say, you know, if I kind of it's worthwhile for someone that wants to be an entrepreneur that's young to really go out and look at the information out there, you know. And to understand that in our society, it's just not realistic for you to, out of, you know, 300 million people, if you live in the United States, or about that much in Europe or whatever, to pick out examples of what you should be from exceptional cases out of 300 million people. When, you know, in the past, you know, you're wired to do that, you know, because in the past we lived in these 50-person or so tribes, and we would compare ourselves to, you know, other people in that tribe. And of course, it's a lot easier to be more successful than other people if you know 50 people pretty well, and you know how you rank against them. But when your top 50 people are chosen from exceptional cases in a society of 300 million people, well, that's a lot more. That's a lot. That, you know, that's just an impossible task, or next to impossible. So yeah, that's what I got to say about that.